Hi there, Scott here from the Warren Youth Project and the Amped Creative Industries Initiative, and today's video I'm going to be just a very brief, simple introduction into the beauty of MIDI controllers, being able to manually, hands-on control things going on in your computer. It's all well and good clicking with a mouse, but I think as with most things in life, actually getting hands-on, it's a lot more fun for starters, but it can be a lot more of an organic, personal journey. Yeah, that's room and titles. Right, let's get cracking. MIDI mapping in hopefully less than 5 minutes. To start with, I'm going to go to an instrument. I'm going to pick analog, and I'm going to go to in the presets folder, bass, and little point here. If you see the little icons next to it, there's two different types. There's one that looks like that, and there's one that looks like that. That's got a split between it. Basically, if I load up that, it pops up on this track. That's the synth. All these knobs are adjustable to shape and change the sound. Delete that. If I load up this one, let's sound that, and drop it in, you can see it looks a bit different. It's not showing you the synth, it's showing you what's called the macro knobs, which are 8 knobs, which are hand-picked by the developer of this particular synth to control 8 of its sort of most useful features, I guess. If I click on this, pops open the synth. And if I move this knob, you can see over here, and over here I think, that it is controlling those parameters. That's called macro mapping. And you can see all these little green dots are these controls here that are being controlled by these 8 knobs here. So if I play this MIDI clip I've already put in there, and adjust some knobs, there you go, I adjusted the sound as it was playing. And again, when you're performing live, that's what you want to be doing. So I can't sit there with a mouse clicking on the screen during a live performance. I mean, if I had to, I would, but it would mean I could only sort of really control one thing at a time, and I might want to control a number of things at once, which is why getting a MIDI controller is really handy. I use Innovation Launch Control XL, as well as other bits and pieces, but they're my main sort of things with knobs, buttons and faders that I use all the time. There are others you can buy, there are tons out there. Some are as cheap as say 30 quid second hand, others can start to cost a lot of money. So you don't need a lot of cash to get you going with a bit of MIDI controllerism. So how to MIDI map. So if I click on the MIDI button there, anything that's highlighted in blue is now mappable. I'm not going to worry about everything else on here. I'm just going to focus in on a few of these controls that I want here. So I'm going to want to control the filter cutoff. So I click it and then I move a knob on my controller, and it shows you there and up here that is now being controlled by one of my knobs. Filter resonance, move a different knob, and I'll go for the reverb on this one for a different knob. So now if I click out of MIDI map mode and play again, so there you go, I'm now in control of that sound. So if I was playing a live set, I might over time have a bit where it's really chilled out and then a bit where it goes mental. And that's basically it, that's how simple it is. I'm now hands-on with something. So in a live track I might have, say, some drums, another synth, some samples, some sounds, all sort of running at the same time, and just by assigning a few knobs to a few controls within those instruments or their effects, I have a lot of control over the sound as the set or the song progresses. Another interesting one, if I go into my user library there's an effect that a producer Bass Clef put out a while ago called the Easy Washout. If I double click on that, it will load it into the set, and you can see here there's only one knob, and this is a bit different because instead of having 8 different knobs, this one knob is macro controlling a number of different parameters there. If I click on the map button, it shows you that that one knob is controlling all of those elements of those devices. So I'll play the loop again and you'll be able to hear what this one knob does. Turn map mode off, and so you can hear there that it sort of washed out the sound, as in the name of the plugin is the washout. And it did that by one knob controlling different parameters on a delay, auto filter, reverb, EQ, filter delay, and finally a compressor. So all of those elements were controlled by one knob. Those are sort of preset things that come with Ableton or somebody else has built. You can build your own. I do it all the time. I find things that I end up doing all the time and decide to set them up in an instrument rack or an effect rack so I can quickly drop that into a set, and then I've got those controls at my fingertips. Again, MIDI mapping, you can MIDI map anything in here pretty much, whether you can MIDI map the transport controls, clip launching, sends, volumes, anything in these effects racks. It is, again, sort of limitless. Yeah, the potential to do whatever you want in Ableton is there. You're only limited by your own imagination, really. So that's MIDI mapping in a nutshell. Only scratching the surface. There's a ton more information out there on music production websites, blogs, YouTube. Go find out if you're interested. Again, I used to think MIDI was a complicated kind of coding kind of thing. With old gear back in the sort of 90s, it was hard to understand. I didn't get it. But software these days and programs like Ableton make it very easy for you to not even think about it. It's just there. Use it. It's great. Until next time, take care. Stay safe. Bye.